Hi, welcome to May's newsletter Rock Your Life video. In this video, we're going to talk more about receiving compliments. Last video, we talked about giving compliments as a way to transmute and transform any envy or jealousy, or just a way to bring about more positivity and paying attention to the things that you like, value, and are attracted to and appreciate, and changing the voice in your head to one of an ongoing appreciation. And this time I'm going to talk a little more about instead of giving compliments, being able to receive them. So that's a really important skill. And it is a skill. It's something that everyone can get good at. I'm going to talk about why it's important to get good at and how to get better at it. So it's important to get good at it because, well, it's a form of self-love, right? It's an epidemic that we, especially women and young, it starts with young girls as well. It's so accepted and supported that when we're given a compliment, we deflect it or negate it or give ourselves some kind of backhanded put down. And I think we're all guilty of this, myself included. So it would go something like this. Someone would say, "Oh, I love your hair." And I will say, "Yeah, well, if I could ever leave it alone," or I have to put myself down in some other way. I can't just sit with it. Or let's say someone goes, "Oh, you're looking great," or "You sounded great tonight," or "I love your class," or something. And instead of just receiving, truly receiving the appreciation and the acknowledgement, there's some way that I, at least in the past, would twist it or turn it and say, okay, let's say someone says they love the show tonight. "Oh, well, I've done better." Or, "Oh, well, there are better people than me." Something so that I'm actually not receiving. I'm not really receiving. I'm pushing off the appreciation. And there's a lot of reasons we do this. But the main one, it boils down to not letting the good in, not thinking and believing and accepting that we're worthy. Feeling like, oh, I don't want to stand out or feel better, or I don't deserve it, whatever. I mean, there's so much stuff. That the thing is, I've learned now to not go into so much about the psychology and the analyzing, and more just paying attention to the fact that I'm either letting the good in or I'm not. And if I'm not, what do I need to do? How do I need to shift so I can let it in? So now I want to talk about why let it in. First of all, it's not egoic. If someone gives you a compliment and you can't take it, um, it's a way of not letting good in your life. And here's an interesting question: what other things that are good, that are loving, that are nourishing or nurturing, what other things are you not letting in? Is your body not assimilating the nutrients? Are you having physical issues? Because it always shows up as you're a holistic being. So if you're not letting in a compliment, are you also not letting in creative thoughts? Are you also not letting in your ideal relationship, your soulmate, or your best friend that you never made because you didn't let it in. What I'm saying here is more than likely there's a pattern. So if you find yourself unable and uncomfortable giving yourself compliments internally, you don't have to do it out loud, or receiving compliments from others, more than likely you're also not receiving other good things in your life. And so obviously, if you're not receiving good stuff, I mean, that's what we're here to do. That's what this newsletter is for. That's what my mission is to get better at receiving the good stuff as an act of love, as an act of I am worthy. And to quickly go back to the subject of something feeling or being or seeming egoic or conceited. I'm not talking about compliments that make you feel superior. I'm talking about feeling loved, knowing that you are lovable, knowing that you're worthy, and appreciating yourself in that way. And when someone says something kind or giving to you, doing your best in that moment, which might always be getting better, but doing your best to receive that as a gift, as an act of self-love. So one of the things you can do is practice saying something nice. And find something that's true. Find something that you truly appreciate about yourself. It can be little, it can be big, it can be superficial, it can be incredibly deep. Find something that you're either proud of, that you honor yourself for. Again, it can be something like, I'm so proud of myself giving birth. What an amazing thing that was. I don't even exactly know what happened. That was remarkable. I am so honored and proud and respectful of myself. And it could be something like, wow, I really like my necklace. I'm so glad I chose that. So it can be a little compliment. I like how I feel today. It can also be something like, I like how I've been treating myself. I've really been doing a few things right. I really like how I'm, anything like that. Just try to get more comfortable with receiving those compliments. We almost always have a pet bombing any of these videos. That's what happens. That's what happens at my house. So that's my challenge to you, is to let it in. And the next time someone gives you a compliment, do your best to take it. And when you go to brush them off or hurry up and give them a compliment back as a way of not receiving it, just find it curious and see what you can do to let it in a little deeper. Again, this isn't about growing a huge ego. Actually, love and ego are opposites. Okay, ego is the falsehood that. Anyway, that's another thing. Love, self-love. Give yourself compliments. Let other people give you compliments, and practice breathing it in. See you next time.